If I had to describe my 27th year, I would say I didn't stick the landing. It's the only phrase that really captures the essence to me. It's the one that I come back to. There is this habit, or maybe it's only me, of asking people what certain ages feel like, what made up the ages they have already passed. When I finish a year, I think about what it meant to me in a very non-committal way. I like describing how things feel. For the second time in my life, the age I was felt like an explanation for how I was feeling and what was happening to me. And so I wanted to tell everyone what 27 felt like, but all I know is what it was filled with. It was filled with laughing and train rides where no matter how hard I tried to read, all I managed was looking out the window. And diner food, and Polaroids of people I love too much for my own good. But none of this explains really how it felt. If I was searching for a word, I would say 27 felt like change. I like change, but I couldn't get myself to flow with the change in my life no matter how much I tried. Because of this, there was a specific feeling I had about the year as it passed me by. The harder I tried to pinpoint how it felt, the less I knew. I went searching for the answer somewhere. Maybe it was in my bag, filled with pens and Polaroids and drawings and lipstick, journals in blue and planners and cameras. It said something, but not what I was looking for. I thought maybe I could find it in my everyday routine. Waking up, having to eat, getting dressed, going to work, passing signs of life everywhere, coming home. Followed by the mix of things I did after work in the trains to places I love or in apartments with people I love. But that's not really the answer either. This obsession with finding the answer felt at the back of my mind most of the time because I needed an answer for why everything, even some of the good stuff, felt a little hard. I felt if I answered that question, then I could tell everyone what felt wrong without it feeling like I was also saying the good stuff was wrong. Even now, the way I present it feels like I'm saying I had a bad time, which is not true. Not even a little. I had a hard time. Hard times are different than bad times, and this was not because of one thing, but because so many things felt different, and managing this totally new way of being felt a little complex. I was certain I could find an answer or guidance from someone else, in movies and TV shows that said it better than I could. I rewatched films to find the answer. I looked to the people I always looked to tell me how I was feeling. The universe was big, and this was not something that could be unknown to me. But the answer never came. Here, let me try again. Let me think really hard about what it felt like. It felt like shopping for clothes during fall for the school year, and when your pants are a little too long and your shirt is a little too big, and your mom says, "You'll grow into it." I knew it with a certainty I would grow into what this new era of my life is. It wasn't happening quickly, but that is the beauty of it really, the awareness of a change in motion. I could try and find the beauty in it. I found it sometimes I didn't. I don't think that's failure either. I was just learning. These things we learn are just a part of everything. Like old photos where you hate how you look. No matter how many times your mom tells you you'll love them one day, you can only learn that when one day arrives. You can only learn, and I mean really learn, how terrible your 20s were when you're in your 30s and 40s, when things are different and so are you. These things we learn in hindsight cannot be learned ahead of schedule. We can try, but we mostly won't succeed. I am for the most part enjoying myself, even the failures, big and small. One day I'll be the person saying your 20s suck, but right now I'm learning that they suck, but I'm okay too. Because I get that they probably suck for a reason I don't know yet. A lesson I haven't learned, but I know they were good because I saw it, and I photographed it. My 20s aren't good because I am so young and I don't have wrinkles, and it wasn't good because I was being crazy and impulsive and because I was partying, even if sometimes that was true. That's what we believe makes youth good. It is good because each year with my friends we discover a little better what it means to be us, what we want out of life, and we do it even when it's hard and even when we're scared. Maddie moved 2 years ago. I imagine a decision not made lightly, but one that had to be done. We said goodbye and I was happy to see her follow her dreams, but sad to see her go. Gone were the days where we walked over the Williamsburg Bridge together every night we were free. We couldn't live that life forever, but it made the memories a little sweeter. And really, what does this have to do with being 27? I think what it means is that I am looking too closely for an answer that can only arrive by looking at everything else. If I want to know what 27 feels like, I have to remember what it meant to be 24, and also learn what it means to be 31. The reason it feels like change is because at 26, everything was different. I knew at 26 that I missed walking over the bridge with Maddie because when I was 26, that was the change that highlighted all the other changes. The change that tells you time moves fast, but that life is long. I know 27 feels like change because I documented what life was like at 26, but I know I did not worry what it meant to be 26 as I was living it, the truth unfolding the less I tried to find it. I was analyzing everything that I had done, but only from the standpoint of being 27. What I really needed to do was talk about it, to find beauty in what was happening without trying to figure out what it meant in the context of my life. The bigger picture was not in the small picture I was looking at. I wanted so badly to understand how this year would set up the next few years of my life that I couldn't see what was so plainly happening. I was trying to make sense of something where there was no sense at all, not yet at least. Perhaps there was an answer in those movies and shows I watched, in the books I read, but I went searching too early. I wanted to know what it meant to be me in a time where the changes were so great there was no me to pinpoint. There is no real answer. Not for me at least. Not right now. It's why every statement I made is a little different, but it doesn't fit quite right either. 27, I am done looking at 27, or trying to explain it. What the fuck am I even doing here trying to tell everyone? I can't tell you why it felt so important, but it did. That's how things are. They feel big because they are uncertain. But I'm almost 28, and who even cares about what it meant to be 27? What matters truly is that the year was filled with laughter and diner food and train rides. That stuff does matter, and the answer was in my purse. I just was too hung up on what it all meant. I mean, big picture what it meant. The changes were changes, and I wanted so badly to work with them that I was doing it all wrong. Now, I'm not saying I failed at my year at all. This quest I sent myself on was dumb, but that wasn't the only thing I did. I did lots of things, and I loved it all, even this mess. The age was a sort of ridiculous obsession. Sometimes we try to make sense of the uncomfortable parts of our life with the things that are most new or temporary. My belief that 27 was the answer was rooted in this old idea that I spent so long sorting through I forgot what it was. I'll grow into it. I didn't stick the landing. It's all just to say that I'm trying to be young and grow up and figure life out, to think about what I want and to go get it. Isn't that really all I can do? I'll sort out what everything meant later, when I'm older and wiser, and not when I'm 28. I mean when I'm 40 or 50. But right now I am tired of looking, so I'm sitting back and enjoying. I'm sure I made some mistakes this year, but oh well. I'm in my 20s and everyone says your 20s suck, but I wouldn't know anything about that at all.